Believe it or not, we are live on YouTube again, and we are live with the iPhone X. And in today's early morning broadcast, we are going to take a look at some of the best iPhone X cases from none other than QDOS. Now, I've reviewed QDOS products for a long time, and I've been really impressed with their range of cases previously. And I was really keen to get some early protection on my iPhone X. And the reason I say that is what I've said to many people over many years whilst reviewing smartphones, is it's much easier or cheaper to replace a damaged or scratched up case. And with the likes of screen protectors, of which I have got one on my iPhone here already, it's a lot cheaper to actually replace a screen protector on your device rather than have a screen replaced. Even if you've got something like Apple Care Plus, which will give you fairly cost-effective screen replacements, it's still a lot cheaper and a lot more convenient as well to actually replace the screen protector or case. And certainly if the case complements the design of your smartphone, then that's a good point as well. So we're going to take a look at a couple of cases from QDOS and also their OptiGuard screen protector. A big good morning to you all. Thank you very much for tuning in. I know it's very early for a lot of you. Let me just sort out this. The screen keeps dimming, and I want to just change that so that it doesn't dim quite so quickly. Now, it's early days for me with the iPhone X. If you saw my feature length broadcast yesterday, which was just over an hour, my longest broadcast to date, you'll have seen my initial reaction to this particular smartphone. We're not going to get into too much of that in this first part of this broadcast because I want to show you the products from QDOS. There is a link to their website down in the video description, but latter part of this broadcast I will take a few more questions about my experience sort of yesterday evening and this morning with the iPhone X. So a big hello to Aaron, to Jack, to Jesse and to Andreja, and also to Oyvind and S. Baggins. Good morning to you all. So this is the iPhone X. This is the QDOS OptiGuard, and this is what the product packaging looks like. Let me give you a close-up of that first of all. Now, with these screens that are curved, it is an issue trying to get a really good screen protector. Now, I have already installed this. There was no way I was going to do this live on the broadcast because you'd just see me looking down at the desk. So let's open this up. Now, I have thrown away some of the content. So inside here there was things like a wet wipe, also a sort of sticky pad for removing dust off the screen. You also get this polishing cloth. And what I thought was really cool with this one, and again the front sticker is missing, but the original screen protector, which is on my iPhone now, came already applied inside this sort of frame, and there was like a sticker across the front. And then what you do is you sort of push this onto the iPhone, press down on the middle section, and then you peel back up and then take this sort of frame off, and you've got a perfectly aligned screen protector. And then you can actually just push it out with the microfiber cloth to get rid of any bubbles. And this is what it looks like. Let me unlock it. So it's actually got a complete frame with this like 3D edge on it, and it doesn't alter the clarity of the screen at all. There's also the notch built into the screen protector, but it's this full frame coverage. And I've also got a case on here as well, and it hasn't lifted the screen protector up, and it just works extremely well. Now, the screen protectors from QDOS, I think they're either £19 or £29, so quite an investment, but well worth actually sort of checking out. Really worth considering because it gives you this full coverage right round to the edges as well. Now, let me just do a little bit of maintenance on the chat. So that's the screen protector. Very good choice. And again, it's called the QDOS OptiGuard. Now, there are other options available. I've seen screen protectors on the likes of Amazon that are just like the glass screen protectors that would sit in this middle section here. They cover the whole screen, but to me, because they're not sort of 2.5D or wrapped around the edges, it's really difficult to actually sort of put them onto such a lovely device, because this has got nice curved edges on the iPhone 10, and I think if you put a standard screen protector on there and you were touching the edge of the phone, you would catch your finger on it. You know, it would spoil that sort of experience you've got. So anyway, moving on, we've also got this particular case. So it's called the QDOS Protect, and this is a clear case, and I've already got this on the iPhone 10 as well. I'll give you a close-up of this, but this is what this looks like. So it's all-round protection, and unlike the Apple cases, it covers the bottom as well, and it's got just extra cutouts on the bottom. Nice large cutout for the camera, of course, and it has got a very slight raised edge profile, but because I've got the screen protector on, it's pretty much sort of level with the front. We've also got raised profile buttons on the sides as well, and a cutout for that silencer switch. So this is not going to protect your screen when you place it face down, but of course the screen protector's doing that job anyway. And I mentioned in my original broadcast yesterday about the iPhone 10 feeling quite slippery. Well, this does alleviate that, because you've got a nice grippy case on here now. So I think this does a really very good job. Excellent job of protecting the iPhone 10, and it doesn't add on much bulk either. Really nice case. It does show fingerprints, of course, but not too bad. Slight dotted pattern in it, very slight, but very minimal, and just overall a really nice grippy case. Makes it even easier to hold on to. Now they also sent me this one here. This is their 2007 to 2017 special edition case. This is what the packaging looks like. I did have to cut across the bottom. A little bit of a shame, because this is like a special edition case, and it was a shame to actually cut the packaging. I would have liked to have seen an easy open packaging. But what this case does, let me just hold it up to the back of the iPhone. I'm not going to put the iPhone in it, because it's essentially the same case as I've already got on here. But on the back, I'm not sure if you can see this because of the reflection of the camera, but on the back here we have got all of the years, like a timeline printed here. So 2007 to 2017 actually printed on the back of the case. So that's really nice. I love the way the lines go round to the camera. Very cool design. So really good job from QDOS on that one. So essentially you can either buy the plain case, which is the QDOS Protect, or the special edition, which has got that timeline printed on the back. I think it looks really very cool. I like them both. So anyway, let's jump into the chat and take a look at any questions. We've got one here from Oyvind Solly. Now Oyvind, you obviously didn't watch that hour-long broadcast the other day, which was my initial impression of unboxing the iPhone 10. You're asking, does the notch irritate me on the top? Well, I'm now almost 24 hours in, and it hasn't melted away. I can't unsee the notch yet. Maybe that will happen after a few days of use. I don't think it will. Some applications do integrate the notch a little bit better. The Stocks app does, because it's like a dark theme. And this leads me on to thinking about the next few months with the iPhone 10. Probably not the next few months for me, because I don't think this is going to become anywhere near my daily driver. I'm still really disappointed with iOS 11. But I think that over the coming months we will hopefully see a lot of developers, rather than trying to integrate the notch and scrolling around it, giving us a dark theme option. I at least hope they do, because if we've got a dark theme option or a dark sort of band across the top, yes, you essentially lose screen real estate, apart from obviously having your battery indicator, Wi-Fi indicator and the time up here, but you will at least sort of see that notch disappear, or not see it anymore, because it will be sort of dark right across the top, and it just looked like these indicators at the top, these little logos, will be floating, and you won't see the notch as much. So that's what I hope we see. We should hopefully get some dark themes as well. I'm going to put a dark wallpaper on here rather than this photo that I took, which is a shame because I love the photo, but that again would alleviate seeing the notch standing out so much. But I don't want to make this video all about the notch. That was covered in yesterday's video. But this is what people are asking. Russ B comes in, was just thinking, you hate the notch. Do you also hate the notch on your car windscreen where the rear view mirror is, Dave? Russ, I know you're trolling me. I'm not concentrating on the notch. I'm concentrating on what's in front of me, and I glance up at the rear view mirror every now and again. You know you want a response. You know you want it. That's so funny. I do appreciate it though. Lukey Awesome says, please do a what's on my iPhone 10. Well, I did a what's on my iPhone 7 Plus, which is already on the channel, and the apps are pretty much the same, apart from one thing I'm testing, and Google Home that I installed on here. Oh, and WhatsApp for my imminent switch to another operating system. But pretty much all of the other apps have remained the same since I did my last video. So have we got any other questions? Let's just scroll up and see. John Berry, good evening from Hunter Valley in Australia. Not a fan of the notch either. Will stick with my Note 8. And the Note 8 is an awesome decision. A really nice smartphone. Now, I mentioned the Note 8 either in a tweet or it might have been in a video the other day. I think it was in a tweet. I took a front-facing portrait photo of me, and the cutout around my fluffy hair, the little hair I've got left on the top of my head, was very poor. And this was against quite a plain background. And it had done such a bad cutout job. It looked like I'd spent 5 seconds in Photoshop and gone, oh, cut round that, cut it out, mask the background out, put it on a black background. That's what the portrait photo looked like. I was very disappointed. And I mentioned the Note 8, and in fact the Note 8 does a much better job of front-facing cameras or selfies. Somebody said, well, you shouldn't be taking selfies. Well, that's what the front camera's for. And I just thought it really did underperform. Nothing to see here. Move along. Says, hey Dave, how's the world? It is a dark and gloomy morning because I'm broadcasting live, but no doubt it will brighten up later on, or I certainly hope it will. Lukey Awesome says, what Fitbit do you wear? This is the Fitbit Charge 2, and I wear that because I normally wear a traditional wristwatch on my other wrist, so I've moved away from wearing a smartwatch. And Insider Vlog says, hello Dave, I love your videos, really do appreciate it. And a big hello from SmartPal 345 SP345. Really nice of you to tune in so early on in the morning. So we cover off a little bit more about my experience in the past 24 hours with this. I found that the face recognition works extremely well. I've got used to the sort of the gestures to navigate around the operating system. But saying that, so I can swipe between my apps. If I just show you this, I can sort of swipe between everything, and then I can swipe up and go back to the home screen. So that works extremely well, but I find it quite gimmicky, quite sort of childlike in the way they've implemented that. I also had to turn off screen dimming or auto brightness purely because I didn't like the way it was doing it. It was not very smooth, and I found it went darker than my liking. And even though I went into control panel and adjusted the brightness, I found that was an issue. Somebody else asked me, does the screen rotate when you rotate around into landscape on the home screen? And no, it doesn't, unless it's a setting that I'm missing. And I should have checked that before the live broadcast, but it certainly doesn't. As it comes out of the box, it doesn't do that. And somebody else also asked, did I still have the problem with the Mail app? Now on iOS 11 on my iPhone 7 Plus, which is sitting just behind me here, in the Mail app, if I select multiple emails to delete, more often than not, probably about 80% of the time, it locks up and I have to force quit the application. Does it still do that on the iPhone 10? Yes, unfortunately it does. It's very frustrating because then you have to quit the Mail app, relaunch it, and it stutters as it reopens, of course. And the only way that I found that I can delete emails without having to do that multiple select and it locking up is to swipe each one away individually. Not ideal at all. That's not a failing of the iPhone 10 or the iPhone 7 or 7 Plus or the iPhone 8, because it happened on my 8 Plus as well, or generations before that, it is a failing of iOS 11. And after all, the hardware just allows you to use the software. It should melt away into the background and it should be a seamless and smooth experience, but unfortunately it is not. The Tech Edition says he thinks the iPhone stereo speakers on the phone sound terrible, and I've not got used to the notch. My girlfriend gave it to me as a gift. Wow, well, at least it was a gift. At least you didn't spend your own money on it, so it's a really generous gift. I found that I was okay with the speakers. I thought the speakers sounded okay, unless you went up to really high volume and then they sound a little bit grating. I feel you on the notch though, I really do. I feel the same way. I really am finding it a hard struggle to look past the notch. Weirly 15 man says, I'm loving mine in silver. That quality and weight are perfect. I do agree with you. The quality and weight of the smartphone, how it feels in the hand, is very, very nice indeed. But is there a quick way to go to the home screen instead of swiping through the pages? I've been watching your channel for years. Well, yes, if you're in an application, for example, if I go to Instagram here, I can swipe across to multitask. This is like multitasking. If I want to go to the home screen, you just swipe all the way up and let go. So past the center point, and then it just goes back to the home screen. And that's pretty much the same in any application. So for example, if I go into the YouTube app, so I'm in an app and I want to go straight to the home screen, you swipe up and just go past the halfway point, sort of flick it away, and then you're back to the home screen. So I hope that helps. So anyway, I've got plenty of broadcasts planned for today. There will be another one probably about 10 minutes after this one ends. It's going to be a busy streaming day for me. Just to recap, the QDOS OptiGuard, really good screen protector, and also their cases, this special edition case, and also this QDOS Protect hybrid case as well. Really good choices for the iPhone 10. So anyway, that is it for this particular broadcast. I will be doing another broadcast in about 10 minutes, so if you've got any more questions or you want to see what I'm covering in the next video, then please do tune in. Thank you very much for joining me. Hit that like button, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in another one very, very soon.